Things move pretty fast in our life sometimes, and I don't just mean in terms of boat speed. Last time you saw us, we had just finished a major refit in one of the most remote places in the South Pacific. A lot's happened since then. We're back together as a family, and I'll get to that. But right now, something really unusual is happening. If you look behind us, you'll see a pattern in the water. Those long waves traveling with us, not away from us. They're called transverse waves. They're beautiful, but they reveal something deeper, the invisible limit that holds most sailboats back. What's for breakfast?
Eggy baguette.
French eggy baguette, also called as French baguette toast. This might be the fastest breakfast we've ever had. Blowing about 20 knots true, doing about 8-9 knots of boat speed, just slaying it. Miles are getting chewed up as we head to South Pass Whakarava. The lack of wave action due to the shelter of land gives you so much more speed. It's incredible, absolutely incredible. We're creating our own wake back here. Have a look at that. You see the wake? It's like a powerboat. We're just cruising. That's right. We are plowing through the water like a powerboat that has not accelerated and begun planing. As we sail through this atoll, I think I want to touch on something that is super important in terms of boat design and something that we've been thinking about a lot. And that is hull speed. Hull speed is something that naval architects use to calculate the speed of a displacement vessel, the maximum speed that typically a displacement vessel can do. And basically all catamarans, all monohulls that you or I would sail are displacement vessels. This is opposed to, say, a foiling catamaran or trimaran, or opposed to a speedboat, which is a planing boat. Why does that matter? It matters because a displacement vessel creates two waves. First, there's this wave right down here. That's called the bow wave. There's actually two wave systems here. The one you see here, the splashes going outwards, is a lateral wave, and I am not as concerned about that. When looking at our boat from this angle, you can see it better. The vessel is riding in a trough and sits between two crests, the bow wave and the stern wave. Here's another angle. You can see the upwelling on the bow wave and then it descending until the stern. This is where it gets really interesting because right now we're literally at our hull speed and you can see it. This is the maximum speed our boat can travel through water. And we know that because the wave we're riding in is exactly the same length as our waterline. Hull speed is a formula that naval architects use is 1.34 times the square root of the waterline length. And the reason that is important, especially on displacement boats, such as this boat or any sailing catamaran essentially that does not plane, is that it dictates how fast a boat can go. So typically, most sailboats do not plane unless there's extreme conditions, which we've experienced, such as surfing down waves. But for the most part, sailing boats stay at or below hull speed. Let's back up to something I just mentioned, planing. When a boat starts to plane, it overtakes its own bow wave and begins riding on top of the water instead of pushing through it. This is common in many motorboats, but the forces required to make that happen are enormous, which means planing simply isn't on the table, unless you're surfing down a mountain of water with 30 knots of breeze behind you. Essentially, displacement boats, which make up 99% of the sailboats, get trapped in the trough of their own wave. There simply isn't enough force in the sails to lift the boat up over its bow wave to start planing. But here's the hack. Physics tells us the longer the wavelength, the faster the wave. In other words, the longer the waterline length, the faster the boat. This is why water length is so important. First, the longer your waterline length, the faster your hull speed. So at 41 feet, we have a hull speed of 8 knots. If we were 45 feet, maybe we would have a hull speed of 9 or 10 knots. But the problem is, once you start to add length, typically, you also start to add weight on a boat design. And that's where creating longer hulls, such as bows, reverse bows, that increase waterline length, or sterns that don't overhang, is so important on modern designs. You're increasing the waterline length allowing the hull speed to increase without increasing volume, without increasing weight.
And that's the crux of boat design. You increase the vessel's length and you increase its speed. But here's the catch. When you increase length, you increase costs exponentially. That's because everything from loads on the rig, winches, to the size of electrical systems, hydraulics, even air conditioning all scale up exponentially. More volume means more systems, more sail area means stronger gear. It all gets expensive very, very quickly. So the real trick? Extend the waterline length without blowing out volume or rig size.
You have the advantage of a high hull speed, so you have high average speeds, but you may not have the high top end speeds, which gives you the ability to relax, have a coffee, have a bite to eat, have a little snooze if you need one, and sail short-handed with ease. That's essentially what we're trying to do. There's a lot of other things that go into it, such as wetted surface. So you want your extremities, such as dagger boards, keels, rudders, skags, to be minimal. So your wetted surface is as little as possible. You want to have narrow entry bows. But generally speaking, the length of your waterline is the most important factor in determining your average hull speed.
Designers have pushed that 1.3 multiplier higher, up to 1.6 or even 1.9, using fine entry bows, canoe-shaped hulls, lift and reduced wetted surfaces. Big tankers use bulbous bows to cancel part of their bow wake, but no matter how clever the tweaks, the core of the equation stays the same. Speed is driven by the square root of your waterline length. That's the simplest, most cost-effective way to go faster. And as for those beautiful transverse waves that we saw trailing behind us at the beginning of the video, those are bow and stern waves falling off. As they slow down, they bunch closer together. And that, in a way, is the invisible leash to every displacement boat's waterline length.
You're going to be done working?
Am I going to be done working?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I want to. What did you do?
I am making a video about aluminum boats.
What are aluminum boats?
Aluminum. Aluminum is like this can. This can is aluminum.
What? What does it say aluminum?
It doesn't say it.
Oh.
Why? What do you want to do?
Because I want to do that.
You want to do that?
Yeah.
What's that? Out here, we're sweating every single day. And that's because we live a really active lifestyle. Whether that's sailing, kiting, hiking, or diving, we've never felt better. We've been using Element daily, and it's made a huge difference. We have way more energy. We don't get that end of the day crash. There's no muscle cramps. We actually work out every morning now and don't feel exhausted the rest of the day. Element is a zero sugar electrolyte mix. Just sodium, potassium, and magnesium in the right ratios. No junk, no dyes, just hydration that actually works. And right now I'm hooked on this lemonade salt. They just came out with this. It's a limited time that they actually have this available. It's salty, it's tart, and it's perfect after a long day in the sun. So right now you can try Element risk-free. They're offering a free 8-stick sample pack with absolutely any order. You can grab it at drinkelement.com/Nahoa, Nahoa. It's part of our daily routine because it actually works. Staying hydrated matters, and no muscle cramps, no brain fog, no crash at the end of the day. It's a product that actually works. Back to the video.
A little scary.
You ready?
Yeah.
What's down there?
This.
How hungry are they?
They've been hungry all day.
They've been hungry all day? Are those your pets?
Yeah.
What are they?
Red.
What?
What kind of fish?
More.
Moras? So we're all back aboard and we're already running out of food. We're feeding the remoras this baguette because it's moldy. But we bought a lot of baguette because they're out of flour. They're out of food in a lot of parts of the two mochis right now. We're not quite sure what it is. It's either
Lack of supplies, like supply ships not bringing enough, or too much demand. So either there's too many cruisers or too many land tourists coming. There's no flour, there's no gasoline, there's no vegetables. There's basically not that many canned goods. We almost got the last toilet paper. It's pretty sparse pickings here, and it kind of like takes us back to why we want a boat that has a lot of storage, a lot of fridge space, a lot of freezer space, and just a lot of like dry storage, food storage space.
We've been on the boat a month now. It's crazy to think it's been a full month of boat life, and it's so good to be back. We've been having so much fun with like water skiing. Yeah, Bodhi man! And hanging out and just like closer family time. Like, it's a lot of fun. And swimming has been good. What are you seeing down there, bud? And the snorkeling, it was amazing, right, Willa?
How was snorkeling, Willa?
Good.
How was the roller coaster?
Good.
I mean, we're going to epic places, and it's absolutely stunning. And I swear you can make it easier. But we went grocery shopping a month ago in Rangiroa, and I bought fresh food and all the dry provisions I could probably need for about 2 or 3 weeks. I was planning for 3 weeks because I figured we'd be in Tahiti in 3 weeks. Well, 3 weeks came and went, and we decided that we would bang upwind to Whakarava to swim with the sharks in the South Pass and have a bonfire in Toa, and like all these things that are just our favorite places out here practically. Master Chef Ben is cooking up some pasta from a can. Anyway, it's been a bouncy passage upwind. It's not something we like to do in this boat that much. It hobby horses a bit, but we can do it. It works. We actually sail pretty quick upwind. There's a lot of leeway involved, but if you're just on a tack and you're making the course you want to make, usually you kind of hold it, and it's fantastic. We've taken this slightly northeasterly wind. Slightly northeasterly wind to make it. And in the meantime, we're like designing the next boat, and I'm like, no, can't deal with this in the next boat. We must improve this situation. I'm not complaining because it is so good out here. Like, it is so good to be out here. But there are things, like, you forget these things when you live on land, and everything's so easy, and you open the door to your fridge and it turns on, and the light, and there's a light in your fridge, and the fridge isn't wet, and your food isn't spoiling because it's freezing and unfreezing and doing all these weird things.
I think actually spot on there, and I think that
What I'm looking for in the next boat is, I think, a household fridge.
a household fridge, yes, a normal fridge that can have lights inside, that can be properly controlled, that might have drawers, easy things, that make life a lot easier.
And then we'll still have boat fridges and freezers and whatnot, but I'm telling you, it's going to be better.
It's going to be way better.
Awesome.
The other thing is, like, they're out of gasoline here in Whakarava. That happened last year as well. So
they were out of diesel last time.
Was it diesel? Yeah.
We couldn't move the big boats. They were out of diesel.
Yeah, so this year they're out of gasoline, and it just happens. You need to be able to carry enough gasoline, enough diesel to move yourself to the next place. And the thing is we're not even that remote. We're a 2-night sail away from Tahiti. So, for a cargo ship to come up here, it's an overnighter for them. So it's actually pretty close. But
Still, yeah, they are low on provisions, are out of gasoline. Then there's seasickness. So
How often have you been seasick?
I've been seasick once in my life, maybe twice. Once when I left Cape Town, South Africa, because the going away party was epic, and
There was wine involved.
wine involved. I don't know what the other time was, but Ashley and Willa do get seasick quite a bit, and it's so eye-opening that when you have crew that can get seasick, you need a solution for getting wind in their face, for getting them to see the horizon. So, we have these meetings out here with our naval architect, with our build partner, and it's so nuanced what needs to happen on a boat. You need to have a solution for seasickness. You need to have a solution for refrigeration, freezer space, laundry, right there. A dryer would be nice, wouldn't it, Ash? So you don't need to take it down between squalls.
I don't know. I don't know what to do about the laundry.
So
But,
it's
Yeah.
and then maintenance. Boat maintenance really crops up a lot. So yeah, boat design isn't just about going fast. It's not just about hull speed. It's about everything else that also goes on here, which is laundry, provisioning with food, gasoline storage, diesel capacity,
Access.
freshwater storage, access to tools and spares, and
Access to engines.
food and engines, and there's so much that goes into it to make life easier out here. It's really frustrating otherwise. And yeah, we have meetings out here with our naval architect via Starlink, and it's lovely to be living in that world of frustration because we can solve it.
At the end of the day, here we are in paradise, and we have a lot of luxuries on board Nahoa, and it is totally amazing, this boat, and to be here and to be here with all the other people on here. I mean, I was talking to a woman who traveled through here on a 32-foot sailboat in the 80s, and there's no water makers. There's not grocery stores like they have now. There was not fuel. Like, these problems that we created are from these expectations that we have now of what a sailboat can be and what we want it to be, and long-term live aboard comforts. And yeah, really at the end of the day, we're grateful to be out here. And we're grateful for everything that we have and being here with the kids at this age, because it is special.
So a lot of you are probably wondering, where is your design? Who is your boat designer? And we'll reveal all that in the coming episodes, along with Boat Life as we sail towards New Zealand. There's a lot going on behind the scenes, and thank you for your patience, guys, because we have meetings multiple times a week. They're both video meetings, they're planning meetings, they're outfitting meetings, they're just a lot going on. And once we have everything nailed down, we're going to be able to reveal a lot more. And it's really exciting because it's pretty big news what we have planned here.
Yeah, I'm excited about everything, but I'm also excited for this season as we head towards New Zealand. I mean, Tonga was one of my favorite places. I am so stoked to be heading towards there again, and it's gonna feel good to start moving out of French Polynesia, I think.
Yeah, we spent a long time here now.
Yeah, 2 motus, see you later.
See you later. On the next lap, we'll come back. We love it here.
I know, this is one of my favorite places, which is why we did spend so much time here. But at this point, I'm ready to go, and I'm excited.
I'm ready to go too, and
Catch some fish, maybe.
yeah, the fishing gets
Can you catch some fish?
the fishing gets really good closer to Tonga. It gets amazing in Vanuatu on
Not
the
going there.
western side of the Pacific, the southwestern side. So a lot of seamounts down there. Anyways, I digress. Stay tuned for a lot more updates, both on life, both on the design, and everything that's going on behind the scenes, because we'll be revealing all that in the coming months.
Yeah, thanks for watching.
Thank you.
See you next time. It's sweaty. I'm complaining because Ben's sweaty and he's holding on to me all tight, and I'm like, oh, it's so lovely.